Ever wondered why, as humans, we push ourselves beyond bare minimum survival? Discover the little-known force that shapes your and other people's every move without you even knowing, and how you can wield it to achieve ultimate power and victory in any realm of human endeavor. Today, we're diving into one of philosophy's most fascinating and controversial ideas, Nietzsche's will to power and the concept of the Übermensch. Forget what you thought you knew about human behavior and success. In this video, we'll unravel how the urge to exert influence shapes our actions and what it means to become something more than just ordinary. Stick around as we challenge common beliefs and explore the raw drive behind every decision we make. Nietzsche believed that life isn't just about surviving. Instead, the real engine behind all behavior is the will to power, an urge to assert oneself, to shape the world, and to grow stronger. While many think we act mainly to avoid death or seek comfort, Nietzsche argued that this idea is more of an exception than the rule. The drive to preserve life is just a byproduct of a deeper need, the urge to influence and dominate the environment around us. Imagine every living being as a force trying to leave its mark on the world. It's not about staying safe, it's about expanding influence. Even animals, in their own way, show this drive when they establish territory or display dominance. Utilitarianism suggests we act to maximize happiness and pleasure. Nietzsche wasn't buying it. Instead, he saw happiness as the reward for overcoming challenges, a sign that we've put our will into action and triumphed over obstacles. Think of it like this: self-preservation isn't the goal, it's a side effect of a much bigger quest to exert power. Nietzsche's theory is like a puzzle where every piece, from our actions to our emotions, fits into the bigger picture of power dynamics. Nietzsche wasn't just focused on human behavior. He had some wild ideas about the very nature of the physical world, too. Traditional views see matter as tiny, unchanging atoms. Nietzsche tossed that idea out the window. Instead, he leaned toward the notion that even the physical world is governed by power struggles, an interplay of forces rather than fixed, static bits. Bishkovich proposed that the qualities of matter come from the clash of forces. Nietzsche saw this as a reflection of the same will to power that drives us. It's like saying every particle, every bit of energy, is participating in a grand contest for influence. Rather than being ruled by unbreakable natural laws, movement and change result from interactions between forces, each pushing its own agenda. This idea gives us a new lens to view everything, from the motion of planets to the clash of human ambitions. Now let's face a big question. How do we rise above the mundane and tap into this raw drive to shape our lives? Modern life often conditions us to settle for comfort, safety, and a life that just gets by. Society praises conformity and warns against rocking the boat, leaving many stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. Nietzsche was deeply critical of mass culture and the press, arguing that they foster mediocrity and suppress true greatness. When everyone follows the same routine, where's the room for extraordinary achievement or the creation of new values? Embracing comfort and predictability might feel safe, but it also means missing out on the chance to truly evolve. Those who dare to challenge the norm, who strive to push past comfort, are the ones who can tap into their will to power and transform not just themselves, but society as a whole. Let's break down how this idea applies to our everyday lives. At its core, the will to power is about the urge to improve, to assert oneself, and to break free from limitations. It's the spark that drives inventors, leaders, and even everyday people who push beyond what seems possible. Think about how a child learns to walk. Each step is a small victory over gravity and self-doubt. In sports, athletes often push past pain and exhaustion because they're driven by an inner fire to outperform, to be the best version of themselves. Nietzsche believed that true happiness comes from overcoming challenges. When we conquer a tough task or achieve something we once thought impossible, that triumph is proof of our power in action. Every relationship, every social interaction, is influenced by power dynamics. From negotiations at work to friendships, the push and pull of influence is constantly at play. Nietzsche's Übermensch isn't about having super strength or flying through the sky. It's about transcending the limits of conventional human life. It represents the ultimate evolution, a person who creates new values and leads humanity toward a brighter, more daring future. The Übermensch challenges traditional morals that bind us to outdated ideas of good and evil. Instead of following the herd, this individual carves out their own path, crafting a unique set of values that propel them, and possibly all of us, toward greatness. In Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche paints a picture of humanity as a bridge between our animal past and a future filled with endless potential. He famously said that man is a rope stretched between the animal and the Übermensch. This isn't just poetic, it's a call to action for anyone willing to break free from mediocrity. Nietzsche also warned against becoming the last man, a state of existence where comfort and mediocrity have dulled our drive. The last man is someone who has lost the spark of ambition, content to simply exist without striving for more. In contrast, the Übermensch is full of passion, continuously evolving and constantly challenging the status quo. After Nietzsche's death, his sister reworked his manuscripts, twisting his ideas to fit a nationalist, fascist agenda. This led to the widespread, but misguided, association of Nietzsche with Nazi ideology. In reality, Nietzsche was fiercely opposed to antisemitism, nationalism, and any form of blind conformity. Many scholars have since worked hard to untangle Nietzsche's true message from these misinterpretations. They argue that his ideas on the will to power and the Übermensch were about personal and cultural evolution, not about promoting superiority based on race or nationality. It's a reminder that powerful ideas can be twisted when taken out of context. Nietzsche's work invites us to question everything, especially the assumptions we inherit from society. Another layer to Nietzsche's thought is the idea of the eternal return, which ties into the concepts of will to power and the Übermensch. The eternal return is the idea that everything in life happens over and over again. Every joy, every mistake, every success. For Nietzsche to truly embrace life, one must be ready to relive every moment in its entirety. Only someone with the strength and conviction of the Übermensch can truly say, "Yes, I would live this life over and over again." This acceptance of life's recurring nature is seen as the ultimate demonstration of the will to power. If you can embrace your entire life, including all the struggles and failures, you've tapped into a deeper strength. This is the kind of inner power that fuels true transformation and growth. So here's the big question. In a world that constantly pushes us to conform, how can we break free and channel our inner force to create something extraordinary? Many of us get stuck in routines, chasing safety and familiarity rather than daring to pursue greatness. Society often rewards conformity, making it hard to go against the grain. We're wired to avoid pain and failure, which can stop us from taking the risks needed to fully realize our potential. Overcoming this fear is essential if we're ever going to tap into the true power within us. Breaking free from conventional thinking isn't easy. It means questioning long-held beliefs about success, morality, and even what it means to be human. This is where Nietzsche's ideas become both inspiring and demanding, forcing us to confront our deepest assumptions. Embracing the will to power isn't a simple switch you can flip. It's a journey, a constant struggle to become more than what you were yesterday. Begin by recognizing that every decision, no matter how trivial, is an opportunity to assert your influence. Whether it's choosing to learn something new or standing up for your beliefs, every act of defiance against mediocrity counts. Just like physical training, mental and emotional strength are built over time. Embrace challenges as stepping stones rather than obstacles. Each challenge you overcome is proof of your growing power. It starts with a shift in how you view failure. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, see it as an essential part of the growth process. Remember, every great achievement was once a risky, uncertain leap into the unknown. Imagine a painter who rejects traditional techniques in favor of bold, experimental methods. Their work might initially be misunderstood, but over time, it redefines what art can be. This is the will to power at work. The drive to break out of the mold and create something that challenges and inspires. Picture a community leader who dares to challenge outdated social norms. Instead of following the crowd, they inspire others to think differently. Their efforts create a ripple effect, slowly transforming not just one community, but potentially an entire culture. This transformation stems from a refusal to settle for what is, and a passionate drive to imagine what could be. You don't need to be famous to harness the will to power. Every day, people make choices that reflect their inner strength. From a student standing up against unfair rules to an employee suggesting innovative ideas at work, these acts of courage show that change starts at the individual level. Each act, no matter how small, adds up to a greater force for personal and collective evolution. Every journey has its bumps and hurdles. Recognizing and overcoming these challenges is part of tapping into your inner power. The greatest challenges often come from within: self-doubt, fear, and the lure of the comfort zone. Ask yourself, what is holding you back from living a life driven by purpose rather than fear? Society, media, and even friends and family can sometimes reinforce a mindset of complacency. It's easy to get lost in a crowd that values safety over ambition. Breaking free means sometimes standing alone. Regularly take time to reflect on your goals and the obstacles in your path. Seek out people and environments that challenge you to be better. Knowing exactly what you're aiming for gives you direction and the strength to push through setbacks. Write down your goals and revisit them often to stay motivated. When you accept that every moment is a chance to relive your life, you begin to see failure as a necessary part of your evolution. This mindset forces you to take risks, knowing that every experience, even the painful ones, will return to shape you into a stronger person. Only those who have truly tapped into their will to power can confidently say, "I would live this life again, exactly as it happened." This isn't about romanticizing pain or hardship. It's about acknowledging that every struggle has value in building your character and strength. At its core, Nietzsche's philosophy challenges us to reimagine what it means to be human. It's a call to evolve beyond the limits set by tradition and mediocrity. The Übermensch is not just a lofty ideal, it's a challenge to every one of us. It asks, what would you do if you were not afraid to fail? What new values would you create if you had the freedom to break all the rules? Traditional morals and values are often tied to outdated beliefs about religion and society. The Übermensch dares to rewrite these rules, crafting a path that is uniquely their own. Nietzsche famously said that humanity is a bridge between the animal we once were and the superior being we could become. This bridge isn't static. It's built on the constant motion of the will to power, a drive to keep pushing forward, to never settle for the mundane. Embracing Nietzsche's ideas means launching a personal revolution. It means rejecting a life dictated by comfort and conformity, and instead, embracing the full, messy, brilliant chaos of becoming something greater. Imagine standing at the edge of a great chasm, knowing that on the other side lies a life where you are not defined by your fears or by what society expects of you. This is the moment when you decide to harness your will to power, a moment of transformation where every failure, every setback, and every victory comes together to shape you into your very best self. That moment when you stop settling for the ordinary and decide that you're meant for more. It's the moment when you look back at your old self and realize that every struggle was preparing you for this very leap. This is not about a sudden, dramatic change overnight. It's about recognizing that the power to change lies within you, always. With each challenge you overcome, you're laying the groundwork for a new, more powerful version of yourself. Whether you're facing a tough decision at work, a personal setback, or the everyday grind that threatens to numb your spirit, remember that each moment is part of your transformation. This is the climax of your story, the point where you truly understand that the path to greatness is paved with the will to power. Today, we explored the core of Nietzsche's philosophy, the idea that our drive to power, to leave a mark on the world, is far more fundamental than mere survival or the pursuit of comfort. We uncovered how this force not only shapes human behavior, but also offers a blueprint for personal transformation. By challenging traditional morals and embracing the notion of the Übermensch, Nietzsche invites us to rise above mediocrity and create our own values. The will to power is about more than just survival. It's about asserting influence and growing stronger. Traditional views of happiness and self-preservation are just surface-level rewards compared to the deeper drive within us. The concept of the Übermensch challenges us to reinvent ourselves and transcend the limitations of conventional life. Embracing the eternal return teaches us to accept our past and use every experience as fuel for growth. Overcoming the traps of mass culture and fear requires us to constantly push ourselves, to question, and to evolve. If you've ever felt that there's something more inside you waiting to burst forth, Nietzsche's ideas are a reminder that every challenge is an opportunity, a call to harness your inner power and transform your life. If you're ready to step into your power, hit subscribe and join us on the journey to a life beyond the ordinary. Remember, every great change starts with a single decision. What will you choose today?